Today we're in the backyard and we're going to be hanging some string lights. Let's get to it. The plan is to zigzag the lights from this guy over to here. I'm going to set a post probably right here. We'll run it from that side over to here, and we're going to come across, tie it into the bar here, and then go across to the corner of the pond. I'll set another post there, and then the last one will come over and tie into the swings over there. Now the items I got are all from Amazon, so I'm going to try these string lights out. These ones are smart lights. You can control them with your phone. I got this installation kit with some hardware, a nylon coated wire, looks like this, and this kit is supposed to come with everything, and these are the posts that I'm going to try. I'm going to put these guys in and see how they work. Okay, just so you can see everything, this post here is one that we have in a wine barrel, and it's just a 4x4 post with an eyelet at the top. I had this at the old house, had some string lights on it. We moved it here when we moved, so stuffed it in this corner, and that's going to be one of the end points. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is just get all the hardware laid out, get the new posts set where they're going to go, then we can start stringing the wire. Okay, just getting everything laid out. I just checked the description for Amazon, and this kit was supposed to have 5 of these and 10 of these. Had 5 buckles. It says everything's stainless. We'll see. These are 10. 2 hooks, the little tools they give you in the wire. Hopefully this is the length that it's advertised, but there were supposed to be 5 of these and there were supposed to be 10 of these. So I might have to modify my initial thought. I'll put a little picture of my scribbles. I just did a rough scribble on a piece of note paper. But I think I might need to modify the way that I was gonna have everything run. And then these guys just screw together, and you know, all that, the extension pieces and all that. So this looks like that has everything, but these guys not so much. So for starters, we're going to put all the hardware up where we want it. And then we can start stringing the wire. Now for these, you want to put them in this orientation, not this orientation, because when the wire goes through, it's going to want to go through like this. And since we have less of the hardware that we were supposed to have, we're going to have to modify things. So I'm probably going to just put the nylon coated wire through here and not put a buckle or any kind of a termination on this end. So we'll go from that end where that garden post is, where the wine barrel post is, put a termination there, come across, string through, then go to the other post that we're going to put in the tree area. So put it like this, not like this. That way the wire can just run through. Just put it up high, below the lip of this, but up high enough that it's going to hopefully be out of the way a little bit. And I centered it where these bolts are, just so it looks better. Put this guy in. I guess I could have went up here, but this is just a 2x, and it's not as much wood there to go from, and it's already got a little notch out of here for this top piece, and I just didn't want to stress it anymore and crack it and break it. So this is the strongest piece. This is a 2x6 that goes all the way down, so I think that's our best bet. No turning back now, it's already done. Okay, this one's going to be interesting. Kind of making it up as I go on this one, to be honest with you. The cable is going to be coming this way, and it's going to want to pull it this way, and if I can support it from that tree and that tree, that'll keep it straight. In theory, see how it works? It's only one way to find out, right? Let me just stick it in the ground and see what it looks like. You stay there, step back and look at it. Or come up here. I think I like it in the trees better. I think that's what we're gonna do. Now I have a drip system in here. Let me take you over there. So I have a drip system in here. These are deep root watering, and then this goes in. This is a 2 feet long, 2 feet, I think 2 or 3 feet. Pound that into the ground, and then it waters the trees from the roots rather than out here. So I don't want to hit that. And then honestly, right here where I just shoved this in, I've got my drip, the main drip line that runs this way. So it's probably better to put it back here anyways. There. Maybe you can see it like that. Put the hook that way so I can hook the wire. One last anchor point, and then we can start running wire. Those are the chairs that we did in the last video, so check that one out. So all of our anchor points are in. Let's start running some wire. Okay. Nothing to it but to do it. First thing I want to do is just figure out how much wire I need, cable, to go from that one to that pole. I'm just going to wrap it once and then go over to this one, and that'll just give it a little bit of play if the trees blow in the wind or do whatever, but it'll still give it that support. When we're pulling this way, it'll help pull it back. So I just want to clip off the wire that I need before I make up the ends. Just like that. I'm just going to cut it, leave myself a little slack, like that. So we got this, comes over, wraps around the pole, goes through, and connects right there. So now I'm just going to run the cabling. I'm going to start here, loop, run it over here, go over there with the turnbuckle so I can tighten it up at that end, and it'll hide the turnbuckle over there. I'm just going to get going and then maybe speed it up so everything will be quick. Just hooking it. Just going to hook it with the termination end here. Sorry, I had to take a quick break. Got to get the ribs on. This is my own mix. Well, if we're being honest, it's a friend of mine's mix, but homemade nonetheless. All right, let those guys hang out for a couple hours. I'll get back to putting up the lights. Okay, so I'm gonna start running these lights. He's still hunting. Little baby lizard on the wall. This is not in slow motion, this is real time. He's a hunter. So I want to start here and then go in that direction. He didn't get it. And follow it across to there and then head towards that direction. Time to wrap these ribs. Looking pretty good. What do you think? Can you see them? Yep. It's 3 hours of smoke. All right. 2 hours wrapped, and then I'll be back. All right, well, I got all the lights hung on all the cables all the way down and across. I ended up wrapping an extra one across there. That's from the swing back over to the bar. That's probably a temporary one. Not sure how I feel about the height. I think those will probably change at some point. And then I just downloaded the app to control these lights, and then I'll play with that once it gets dark and I can actually see that they go on. So I will bring you back once it's a little darker, and then we can actually see the lights on. Okay, so here we are a week later, and there's been some changes. For starters, I hated those lights. Those lights they just weren't bright. the colors didn't match. When I strung 4 of them together, there were 15 lights per strand. The apps went to a maximum of 50, which is not a multiple of 15, so it killed the last the 10 lights on there. So the 10 lights on the string didn't work at all, and the color degraded as it went. So you would start with a white, which I figured was going to be the most common color that we would use. So it started with a white, and by the time you got to the end, it was kind of greenish, more kind of yellowy green, which it just wasn't consistent throughout the whole thing. The app control was okay. It had a bunch of silly little um, presets, but I didn't really like any of those. They were all basically the same with a different color. They just chased, like it was chasing lights, and then just a different color scheme. So wasn't really what I was looking for, so I ripped everything out. So in the next video, I'm going to be installing lights similar to these that are under here. These are the same ones, or I've had these ones for 5 years. Bought these 5 years ago, had them at the old house, put them up. I like them. They're just white lights, and then I put them on a separate app-controlled dimmer so that I could control them remotely and didn't have to plug them in and unplug them whenever I wanted to use them, and then I could dim them and adjust them as needed. So the old ones are gone, and so that whole video was for nothing. I was gonna delete it, not do it, but then I thought, let me at least put this out there so that someone else doesn't buy these and do the same thing. So there you are. Stay tuned for the next video, and we'll put up the other lights. I bought some new lights, the same ones as these. So see you there. Just threw on the Mac, the leg clamp, and unwrap these here ribs.
Do we